So my heart sunk the moment I knew Houston had pop up. A couple folks from the live coin Q&A, actually Paula had sent me a link to this listing right here, which is a 2022 P Wilma Mankiller Quarters roll from Pensacola, Florida. All right. Okay. So what? What's the relevance here? I'll tell you in a second. Maybe the big error. Yeah, there was, in case you haven't figured out and you haven't been watching a few of my latest videos, yeah, there was a pretty big error that had been found. Actually, a number of them have been found up to this point. And the coin was being found in brand new 2022 P Wilma Mankiller quarter rolls in the southeast area. Kind of think and figure that a lot of the coins in question were distributed through the Atlanta Federal Reserve Bank, okay, which services pretty much the entire southeast region of the U.S., from Florida to Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and I guess eastern Texas. One of the more recent examples to have been found was from eastern Texas. So quite a nice little area in which these have been coming up, you know, like onesie twosies that nobody's really hitting home runs and finding, 20 of them in a box. All right. People are actually just finding like one or so, which is cool. As of right now, I believe there's only two coins that have sold. One that sold for $305. Another one that is currently live on eBay for a few $100s. That one's sold pretty well. But there hasn't been any other examples that have sold to where we can conclude that it's going to make a huge impact on the individual roll prices. To put things into perspective, if it weren't for the actual error that was found, the big one that was found and sold about a week ago was from Pensacola, Florida, but there have been others that have sold since in the southeast region. The one coin in question that did sell sold when nobody else knew about it. All right. And at that point, because there wasn't as much press and there wasn't as much information on the coin available during that time, the first and only coin, and that's why I call this the discoverer's curse, where the first person that finds something actually quite exciting ends up selling it on eBay or some other site. But generally, these coins go for a lot lower price than, say, a well-established known coin that's been out for a few months and people are talking about it. Nobody was talking about it when this first example sold a week ago. And that's the primary reason why I was able to make that video a week ago. As a matter of fact, I believe it was a pocket change market report to two back from when I did that. So I had made a bold prediction that, as this coin ages and people are finding them and they're finding much later progression states and things like that, I said that this coin could possibly be the first out-of-pocket $1,000 find of the modern generation. And I mean ultra modern. I'm talking about 2000, the year 2000 and up to the current date. This one right here has all of the makings of a coin that in raw condition can hit $1,000 because it's a dual-sided event. All right, it has a retain cut on the obverse and also has a pretty substantial die crack on the reverse that, well, judging off of the first sale from a week ago, the crack doesn't go all the way to the rim. It kind of stops halfway. So I'm hoping, and I'm a little bit very hopeful, that there's going to be a much later progression that will be discovered where the crack goes all the way through rim to rim. So call it like a bisecting die crack error or whatever you want to call it. Might even develop into a retained cut with some displacement. Could be. But with all of the news of that coin being discovered and eventually sold, all right, the community is now excited. I'm sure I'll take probably 90% of the blame for getting this information out there for people to kind of start treasure hunting, and with good success, people has began to find some of these, but there are people that just can't help it. All right, find out that one person that we know on the channel, all right, I'm not going to name names, but you can just as easily go down the list of Wilma Mankiller quarter rolls on eBay and find out that they're trying to score 50, 60 bucks a roll. Okay, where that's we're not even in the conversation price wise because the market doesn't support $50, $60 rolls. Not yet. If the coin reaches the individual single error coin reaches, say, that $1,000 kind of threshold and higher, then yeah, we could begin to talk about $50 rolls. It's still wildly expensive. I think rolls that were before the announcement of that error discovery at $20 to $25 a roll, for the prospect of what? Finding little dye chips in the hair and, corner of mouth, all the same crap that we've been seeing through the first 3 releases of the American Women's Series of Quarters, does not under any circumstances support a $20 to $25 per roll sale price. Never has, never will. The sales will be, and you can tell, the sales are slow. So after the announcement a week ago, I'm happy to report that most of the rolls sourced within the Atlanta Federal Reserve Bank distribution area, I said area twice, right? All of these coin rolls have sold out. All right, there are a few sellers in Jacksonville, a few of them in Alabama, and so on and so forth. Georgia is another one where some rolls popped up. They all sold out. And they all sold out, in that kind of like $19 to $23, $24 per roll price. And I think I'm okay with that. I think that's reasonable given the chase and the hunt for this particular coin. But of course, there's going to be people that are going to fully take advantage of this and then try and squeeze as much money and blood from a turnip from you, the consumer, the treasure hunter, as they possibly can. And what I feel like is the most egregious price gouging listing to date, you're staring at it on screen. Now, granted, okay, it does say best offer. But why even throw up a per roll price of $175 or best offer? What kind of message does that portray, does that tell to the people out there? Anyone? Well, I know from my point of view, I'm thinking this guy is looking to stick it to someone, all right, and make as much money possible. It's like trying to score a PS2 or a PS5 or whatever on release day, just so you could flip it, for $3,000. It's kind of like, it's along the same lines of that. People have been doing it for the last 2 years in the sports card industry, in the comic book scene, and all that stuff. These collectible items that used to be worth X, but now are worth 5X. People are taking advantage of that. And then now that the gravy train, so to speak, has slowed down on a lot of these other collectible areas, they're looking to gain some ground. Maybe they leverage too heavily on credit cards and they're looking to make some money. So they're going to look at things like this. Don't know the guy, but, this is an obvious arbitrage opportunity. It could very well be that, I put $175 or best offer, but in reality, I'm actually accepting $50 per roll. Bang. Still way too expensive. The coins in question, all of these errors that are being found, either have minimal value or they haven't developed a supporting number that will generate the appropriate amount of resale for these type of rolls. So here it is right here. They threw in all the keywords from Pensacola, Florida. The thing is, it says Pensacola, Florida, maybe the big error. I mean, why be coy or cryptic about it? Just say what error it is. maybe not necessarily in the listing, but in the description. All right, so there's the seller's name there, 10 available. Obviously, hadn't sold any of them because there's still 10. And as these things sell, it'll say in red letters, 1 sold, 2 sold, 10 sold, whatever. But if we roll down here into the description area, all right, maybe the big errors that have been found have been die clashes, which, by the way, we haven't necessarily talked about. We've talked about on the live coin Q&A, and we're still gathering data for that coin, but by no means is that something that's propping up the value of the man killer rolls. Obverse and reverse, all types of die chips as the drooling chip, which by the way are worth like pitlins now. You know, that's like $5 coin for a decent sized die chip. Here's another thing that I have a problem with. Okay, must watch BlueRidgeSilverhound on YouTube. The last 3 or 4 videos, I think Coin Week has picked up on this phenomenal error. So they cited another publication other than myself, is that they're leveraging my name to support the valuation of these rolls. And that's where I kind of draw the line. I did not reach out, but I'm hoping that this individual is going to watch the video that I'm posting today and say, I'll be honest, I'm going to say it right on camera. I think you're going overboard. And even if you are asking a best offer price, you can't do it this way. You can't throw out the false narrative out there that, you know, these are indeed worth $175 and then make people do a deal or no deal kind of, you know, bargain to score some of these rolls. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at that case. All right. I would say the most that these rolls should sell for would be probably $25. And I would say that's too high. And this is a brand new roll. These are coins that, honestly, anyone living in the southeastern region of the U.S. can go to any bank and pick up at any time. All right? These are not in short supply. Many hundreds of millions of these were produced. And they're going to continue to do that. This is an obvious and blatant wrong message to throw out there. The coin collecting scene is not sports cards. It's not. We don't support that kind of arbitrage. The coin market does not accept and allow it. And if you are watching, you need to know this. All right? There's not $1,500 per box of Prism basketball out there. There's no equivalent to that in the coin industry. You know, because the people that are in this hobby are relatively old school. They are. You know, they're not going to be swayed by what you think an appropriate value is. And, you know, it's the wrong message, man. You know, you need to kind of modify it or do what have you. Me personally, I would just open all the rolls. The problem is, and I've identified this, because I look and see that you have Loomis rolls. All right? Again, Loomis, fine company for what they do. There is some data that's been gathered that a lot of the big-time errors that we normally have seen within the last 5 to 10 years, they're not coming out of Loomis rolls. And I have a feeling that their machinery that they use to package the coin roll papers with you know, and fill them up, they have discriminators and sensors on their machinery that pulls out any like damaged coins and things like that. That's why last year you weren't able to find the 2021 Lincoln Cent routine cut die break because the die break billows off of the coin. Their machinery catches that, and nobody has been able to find that particular error, which, by the way, still sells for $300 to $500 a pop. Nobody has been able to find those in Loomis rolls. They're finding it in NF String and Son rolls. Pretty interesting little diatribe right there regarding the difference in roll. I guess people that prep them and manufacture the rolls before they're distributed to the banking system. A little something that maybe you guys didn't know about. but doing enough research and talking to people that there is some legitimacy to that. So, of course, this is all honor system stuff. My ultimate message to everyone and to Josh Struzik Zero is that we can't do it this way. All right, you can make money selling these rolls, but you can't do it this way. Obviously, it's not working because your listing has been on here for a couple days and you've had no bites. Even using Pensacola, Florida, as being the designated first landing zone, I guess, of this new era doesn't work in this. And the people in the coin business are extremely smart. At the same time, they're very prudent. Okay, they're not going to be swayed with these kind of keywords and cryptic little things that people are putting out on eBay. All right, it just doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. Will it become a time where these things are worth $100 a roll or more? Okay, yeah, maybe in 10 years. All right, by the time the market at the very beginning has figured out the realistic price range of the major error coin that's being found on the Wilma Mankiller Philadelphia's, the individual errors will dry up. Okay, number one. Number two, any existing coins that do exist out there of that error are going to be really well circulated and not worth nearly as much as UNC coins. And that's the good news for the folks that are holding. I mean, it looks like there's only like $100 face on there. Why would you not just sit on them for a number of years? These rolls will be worth a ton more because of the big error that's being found in there. Okay, and another thing that before we kind of part ways for today, is that we are living in extraordinary times where the U.S. Mint, who we've always thought were much more technologically advanced and they have better quality control over any other industry out there, we're seeing that that's just not the case. However, there's going to become a time, ladies and gentlemen, where this is all going to come to a crashing halt. And quality will tighten up. There's going to be new presses and new versions and a 2.0 and a 3.0 of so-and-so, graven press or whatever you call that is. There's going to be newer, technologically advanced machinery. The people will come back. The pandemic really screwed things up for the workforce. And that's why quality kind of went by the wayside, but it's not going to stay like that. Once that all right sizes itself, and it's only going to be a matter of when, not if, that happens, then we're going to say goodbye to all of these modern day kind of like radical, very dramatic errors. So that's why I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys for joining in. Sorry, Struzik, for putting you on the spot. But when you have this kind of listing, you make it really easy to have a little bit of criticism. And again, am I saying what you're doing is wrong? No, you did it. You did. It's plain and simple. It's right there. But ethically, in the market, this is wrong. All right. When you do this and you sell on eBay, you speak your intentions. You go out there and say, yeah, I want $29.95 a roll. And then put it as that. Don't do like $480 or best offer when you know damn well that you need to be at $30 a roll. Speak your intentions. Put it out there, specifically the price tag that you want to sell these at, and just leave it alone. Me personally, these are the type of things that I will hold on to. I have bank boxes going all the way back to like 2010 that I'm still sitting on right now. The individual rolls I could sell for $10 a piece if I wanted to of those Lincoln cents. I have a lot of Lincoln cent rolls. I even have some going back to like 2008, 9, and all that stuff. And there's going to be a lot of sealed equity opportunity. And it's going to be amplified that much more when there's something something that exists within that particular date that people and collectors can grab and gravitate to, that's going to bolster, that's going to enhance the values of the rolls over the course of time. You know, imagine if there weren't probably a handful of this major retain cut die break coin that exists out of the entire run of Wilma Mankillers. You know, and the thing hits $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. People start grading them, you know. And then 5-10 years from now, what do you think the rolls are going to go for? Moon money. It's just now's not the time for that. All right. I know this is all instant gratification, and it's like, I want the money right now. It's like the market does not support that, man. And this whole best offer bit with the high price dollar doesn't fool anyone, and it frustrates the hell out of people, because this is something that will kill a momentum of a newly recent find. And, you know, we just don't want to do that. We don't want to have that in the community. We don't want to have that in the market, because people are going to look at this and say, well, this guy doesn't give a shit about coins. He's just an arbitrage guy. And if you're looking to make money and be successful in the coin business, you need to take your mindset away from, I don't give a shit, and you need to go in and say, I do give a shit. You know, I need to say, I'm here to service collectors and be realistic about it. So, something to keep in mind. Thank you guys for tuning in on this one. We got a Monday market report coming up this evening. Thank you as always. Love your guys' support and views. Yeah, best of luck in your hunts. If you find these rolls, sure, you could sell them and make pretty decent money, but man, there is something about the thrill of the hunt. Make sure you're looking out for those NF String and Sun rolls on these. I think those are going to have the best outward chance of finding the big error. So go ahead and look for them. Spend the better part of the week. This is a relatively recent find, and I have a sneaky suspicion that these were produced within about the last like 10 to 14 days. This is a fresh batch, because the mint will produce a number of these per American woman. They're not going to produce all of them in one go around. So they're going to produce X here, they're going to produce Y here. This one's probably part of the Y batch. So go ahead and get yourself some big time pulls out of these. Yeah, we're just going to see more nut stuff coming from the mint. And you don't necessarily have to buy direct from the mint to realize that. So that's all. So long, guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.